Hey everybody. I came across this really great article and I read it to myself and it actually put me into tears and I really want to share with you guys. So I'm going to read it to you. It's from Mind Body Green. It's written by a gentleman by the name of, let me just scroll to the bottom here. His name is Daniel Dowling and he's the CEO of MillennialSuccess.io. And his background is 1 year ago, he couldn't keep a job and had to sleep on his mom's couch. And now Dan gets paid $1 per word writing for the world's biggest and best companies, including Fitbit. Dan's mission is to inspire millions of millennials to redefine success. So I read this and it resonated very deeply with me. And it's called, Is Your Dream Guy Missing This Key Trait? Okay, and it was published April 23rd, 2017, and that would be today. Picture the perfect man. What does he look like? Where does he work? How many zeros are in his bank account? You've probably spent hours, even days of your life dreaming up this specimen, and every part of him is just right for you. But there's one aspect you might have overlooked: his thoughts. If you could choose the thoughts of your future husband has about you and every woman, what would you want them to be? Would you want him to drool over you or to hold you in awe? Would you rather he objectify you or respect you? Would you want him to worship your body or to cover you with the protection of prayer? Both men and women have a built-in drive for lasting love, and I don't kid myself. That kind of love takes serious self-control, and not just where our actions are concerned. It takes thought control. A woman deserves her partner's thoughts to be pure enough that she can trust him with all of her love for all of her life. That together you can be an example for your kids and for your community, and that you can trust him to look at other women with the same dignity that they and their future partners deserve. Pure thoughts, even the sexual kind, are not only possible, they are essential. And you deserve that kind of conscientiousness and restraint from your partner. You are simply worth that. But here's the truth. You can't engineer your man's thoughts, and even if you could, you wouldn't want to, because that would make him your slave, and you would lose respect for him, or he would grow to resent you, or both. Suspending your life, trying to control anyone, is a surefire way to make you both miserable. And here's what you can do instead. Become intimately acquainted with your man's character before you make any kind of commitment to him. And that doesn't mean waiting 3 dates before you sleep together. It means that you should get to know someone in the way that requires exposure to his actions over time without all the physical love chemicals to haze your objectivity. A guy can fool you for a while. He can make you believe he's dateable after a day. It might even last several months. I managed to put my best foot forward long enough to convince a girl I was worth her time and energy. But would a man be able to fool you if you knew him for 6 months as close friends? How about a year? And if he didn't see sex as an eventual inevitability, would he even try? Probably not. The longer you're exposed to someone's actions, the more intimately you're connected as friends, the more certain you can be of his thoughts, and by extension, your chances of a happy life together. So here are a few questions that you should know the answers to before you dive into a relationship. 1, what were his past relationships like? 2, does he watch porn? 3, is he selfless, gentle, and kind under even the most straining circumstances? 4, is he noble? 5, does he regularly put the needs of others before his wants? 6, Is he a constant self-improver? And number 7, is he a lifelong learner? You'll find answers to those questions and a million more if you think long-term, and if you love him in a disinterested friendship. If not, you'll chemically attach yourself to someone whose thoughts might seriously jeopardize your happiness and your security. I'm going to reread that again. You'll find answers to those questions and a million more if you think long-term, if you love him in a disinterested friendship. And if not, you'll chemically attach yourself to someone whose thoughts might seriously jeopardize your happiness and your security long-term. And that's not some far-fetched what-if scenario. It's the harsh truth for most daters and married people today. Pure thoughts, even the sexual kind, are not only possible, they are essential. So this fellow goes on to say, how I trained myself to respect all women with my thoughts. I pride myself on being a man whose thoughts would give you hope for finding a man. And if I'm moved by your beauty, I thank God for you. I rejoice over the beautiful creation before me. Then, instead of imagining all the ways I would jump your bones, I'll channel my desire upward, and I pray for you. I ask God for all the blessings you need to thrive in happiness. I pray for your future husband, asking that he be blessed with the discipline and the selflessness and courage to do what's right and to prepare himself to be the husband that you deserve. And finally, I ask God for whatever I need to channel my desire for you into becoming the best husband that I can be, into becoming the best friend that I can be, into becoming my higher self. And you might be thinking, that's all well and good, but what about reality? Where, every guy watches porn and cruises the dating scene for hookups and doesn't have a halo. Well, I'm not a saint. And in fact, 5 years ago, I was dating and change that. I'm not a saint. In fact, 5 years ago, I was the most depressingly average male in all of existence. I watched porn daily, I masturbated just as much, and lived on my mom's couch. If I were struck by your beauty, I'd save your image in my spank bank. Then I'd do everything in my power to charm away your resistance. With no job and no prospects, charm was all I had. I didn't care about you or your future husband because my focus was solely on my pleasure. I was like most guys. But then, existence as I knew it unraveled. After my third and my last breakup, I was struck with anxiety and depression that would make a bear shit. I was overcome with pain in my present and despair for the future, and I seriously considered harming myself. Because love was my whole reason for living. And since I'd failed in all 3 of my live-in relationships, what did I have to live for? In my darkest moment, I asked myself what I could do differently, and when I really thought about it, I realized I hadn't put any effort into preparing for my relationships. I'd hook up with a girl at a party or fantasize about her until she was mine. I killed myself trying to make things work after I'd gotten her into bed, and you should have seen how desperate my love notes were. But I didn't do anything to plan beforehand. So after my last relationship, I researched this whole love thing, and I concluded that unconditional love was the only way. It was like that cheesy saying goes, if you love someone, you have to let them go. And to let someone go, to let them truly be free, you can't be attached by lustful thoughts. Since I wanted to love well, I had to change my thoughts. I gave up all activities that had trained me to have selfish thoughts. I gave up porn, I gave up masturbating, and that was over half of the battle. The other half was how I responded to women in everyday life, and that was the hardest part. Take my beautiful beach volleyball partner, Amy, for instance. This girl makes Natalie Portman look like Pee Wee Herman. She's just that gorgeous. But she has a self-esteem of a freshly molten vulture, just the type that I used to prey on. In all of our time spent together, tournaments, parties, dates, I could have reverted to my old ways, but I told her that I just wanted to be friends from the start. And instead of drooling, I forced myself to respect her and to care for her. I felt overwhelmed by her beauty, and like any man. But unlike most men, I used that feeling as a reminder to be mindful, to choose the best thoughts for her and me, to pray for her future husband, and not surprisingly, we became very good friends. So Amy was my first true girlfriend who was strictly a friend. By caring for her with no sexual strings attached, I helped her to rediscover her worth. I was there for her when all the other guys in her life weren't. And by allowing me to care for her, she helped me become a worthy man. I now practice mindful sexuality with every girl I meet. Cute cashiers, beautiful bartenders, foxy friends. Gorgeous women are everywhere. But instead of punching more holes in my heart, I come away from each interaction knowing that I'm a better husband, father, and man. I choose to increase my respect and awe for women in every instance. I refuse to degrade them with my thoughts. And though I am now still single and celibate, I can't thank God enough for my good fortune. In 3 years, I've gone from a lovesick pup to a full-grown man. I've created my career and made my independence. I've relearned to love my life, but unlike 5 years ago, I'm lifting up everyone else too on my path. So these are the notes to women. How do you find a thoughtful, disciplined, and pure man? Be that woman. Channel your sexual desire into becoming the most selfless, fulfilled woman you can be. Do that through mindfulness and prayer, and perhaps by taking a year to love yourself. Let go of the thoughts and habits that hold you back from loving selflessly, no matter how normal they are. When our culture is so clearly sick, you really have to start questioning what is really normal. Finally, save relationships until you've fallen in love with your own life, until you're no longer looking for something or someone else to make you happy. It's a hard path, and that is for sure. But consider the alternatives. Consider the heartbreak. Consider the insecurity, the divorce, and the douchebags, love that word, who only pretend to care about you. Those are the standards for modern love. But you deserve much, much more. And again, this is by Daniel Dowling. Love this. He's the CEO of millennialsuccess.io, and 1 year ago, he couldn't keep a job and had to sleep on his mom's couch. This guy is rocking it, and he got it. And just had to share with you guys. And again, I found this article on Mind Body Green, and it was published today, April 23rd, 2017. Sorry.